Hello, welcome to this side of the internet. My name is Nikki, and today we are going to be looking at one of my old OCs. So, this is Julius. Everybody say hi, Julius. Hi, Julius. There we go. Introductions done. Okay, so before I get started talking about Julius and everything else before I start talking about Julius and everything, I wanted to give a little bit of background on how this piece got started. And basically the story is that I have not drawn for a while, and that while is quite a while, ever since my last video, which was a month. I'd like to say it was a month ago. It's almost been a month. I have rarely drawn at all. And I mean, school started, so that was a propellant in my lack of drawings, and I have not posted on Instagram either, and that made me so incredibly upset because I had a streak going of having 3 to 5 posts every week, and then that just all died down. And today actually I posted something new, which made me a little bit happier, like, oh, you're finally getting your stuff together. But yeah, that's what happened. So I haven't drawn in a while, and this was my first drawing. I drew this a couple of days ago. I'd like to say it's almost been a week. And that's sad because I've had this footage the whole time and haven't had time to make a voiceover because school. So yeah, my drawing skills were a bit rusty to say the least, having loading up Procreate because I was too lazy to get on my computer. And I promise you I will do a Speedpaint or a fun little video idea I have on my computer sometime soon. But right now it's intimidating to draw on my computer again because I haven't drawn like on a computer program in quite a while, and that's intimidating, especially Krita. I really miss Krita. Krita is my baby. Everybody please stand Krita. Download Krita right now. But yeah, I'll do it eventually. I'm off topic. I made a list for this video and I have gotten very far off of it. I just want to talk. I miss talking. And so let's talk a little bit about my boy Julius. So on the right, while I'm sketching, I have an old picture of what he used to look like. And mind you, this is, when I say old, I mean very, very old. This is like 2 years old. Maybe that's not a lot, but if a baby had been born the day I made Julius, that baby would be 2 years old. And that's an old baby. I don't know how else to explain it, but my style has progressed. We have grown, we have nurtured our drawing abilities and exceeded. There's been a skyrocket in growth since then, and I'm glad because looking on the right, I can tell where I got lazy. I made this drawing for an old Speedpaint, which I will elaborate on later, but I got so lazy in the end with the line work. Like for his shirt, I couldn't get the right swoop for the off the shoulder look, so I just did it halfway, stopped, and did it the other halfway, and I couldn't be bothered to remove that little pixel that showed that I had drawn 2 lines. That's how lazy I was. And not gonna lie, I still like the background of that piece. I tried to recreate it, but I just can't figure out how I did it at all. And that's sad because I really, really like it and I thought I got better, but I still can't recreate simple backgrounds. I would have created a more complex background, but I wasn't planning on it. Since this was my first drawing in a while, I just said, no, I will not make a background. I will take it easy. So, a little more about Julius. I've had him for 2 years, basically, and he's in the same story as another one of my OCs called Luik. And Luik was, I'll explain more. It'll have to wait. So basically, he's not in the same universe as Lilac and Leo from If you follow me on Instagram, you know who they are, but I don't think I've discussed about them on this channel quite yet. But Lilac and Leo are universes from Julius, and Julius is in the same universe as Luick and the others, which you don't know about yet. Oh, it's so hard to explain this, but yeah, he is an attractive young man, but he has not nasty. If he were a real person, I personally would not be friends with him. I would not avoid him, but I would be wary of him. He is, I don't know how to explain this nicely, but he's not a good guy. Like, he is someone who plays around a lot. He's not very serious. He jokes often. He isn't committed to anybody or anything. Like, I'm not saying he's what would you call it? He doesn't have commitment issues. He just chooses not to be. He's just someone who's a jerk for the fun of it. And I hate that aspect of him, but I still love him because he's my baby. I don't know. It's a complicated relationship. But basically, I used to have a solid story for him, but then I forgot it because I didn't write it down in classic Nikita fashion. But what I remember from the story and what I did upgrade a little and update is that he was a bad guy before in his teens, like his high school years, middle school years. He was generally not a good guy, but he did some growing and evolving, and he eventually turned out to be a school nurse. And he is still not that great of a person, but he is better. He's getting better. He's working there. He is trying his best. And I appreciate that for him because he is doing the best he can. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but he ends up being the school nurse for Luick's school, and you don't know who Luick is, so why do I keep on referencing him? Okay, moving on. So yeah, and Julius, I'd say he's a pretty attractive guy. Like, that was one of the things I wanted to hit on when making him. I wanted I don't know how to make this sound not bad, but that's one of his character aspects. Like, being pretty is a personality trait for him, and it feels so weird saying that out loud, but that's kind of the gist of it. And about when I was talking about my old Speedpaint, I wasn't talking about this channel. So before this channel, if you watch my channel introduction video, you know this, but I had another channel that was Minecraft stuff, but then I started drawing, so it was the Minecraft and drawing stuff. And Julius was supposed to be one of the speed paints I posted there before I stopped posting on that channel, obviously. But the thing that happened is that my flash drive broke and deleted everything. Like, I'm talking huge Minecraft worlds, huge like projects, and I had recently just recorded this speed paint that you saw of 2 years ago, Julius. I had finished recording that. I had finished the voiceover, I'd finished everything, and I was about to post it, and then I plug in my flash drive and there is nothing. Nada. Zip. Nada. I was devastated. I tell you, I was devastated. But we live and we learn, and we cried, but that's okay. That's okay. We've gotten over that. Not really. But yeah. And also, Luick has a speed paint on that channel, but I am not going to tell you that channel's name because I'm embarrassed. So if you find it, good job. You get to see me in my most embarrassing state of 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. Man, that it's a long time ago. It feels like it was just yesterday, honestly. But moving on, I have a lot to cover and I am rambling like I usually do, and I find that does not help me stick to my list. So this drawing was like a turning point for me. I think it is a turning point for me because I go through these slumps where I don't draw for weeks or months, and then I come back and then I am suddenly a better artist. And that does not make sense because it just doesn't. I feel like during the time I consistently, I'm gathering knowledge and information and how to just generally be a better artist, but that can't act immediately. And I have to have time to sit on the skills I learned and think about them, but I don't know why that can't happen while I'm still drawing constantly, you know? Like, I always have to have a break until I break out into something huge, like, oh my gosh, I finally get the meaning of life because I stopped drawing for a couple of months. But I felt guilty all the time for not drawing. You see, there's a problem, a disconnect happening. But I really do think this drawing is a turning point for me because I've been fiddling around with Procreate and I'm still not better at sketching. I need to get better at sketching. But with Procreate, I'm getting better. I'm getting more used to the brushes. I'm making my own brushes. I'm downloading brushes. And my work is generally I cannot speak today. And my work is generally coming out much nicer, which I'm very glad for because I need to start working on that comic I've been talking about nonstop. And yeah, that's a thing. So I'm really, really trying my best. But even though this piece is a turning point, I'm not happy with it. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, I don't like this piece that much or at all. His face, for one, didn't turn out the way I wanted. His pose didn't turn out the way I wanted. The background didn't turn out the way I wanted. The only thing I guess I like is probably his hand, that one hand, but it's small, I think. And his hair, no, not really. I like his ear. His ear and his hand are probably the things I like the most. I had trouble with everything else because I haven't drawn in so long. And why I chose to make a video on it beats me. Honestly, I have way more things that I could have drawn or have just scrapped this speed paint and said, you know what, I'm not doing this. But I chose to do it anyway because I am a certified idiot. And that's what it's like being Nikita. But, you know, content is content, you know, get that AdSense. I don't get paid for this, I just do it for fun. Talking to myself, haha. But I tried my best. I really did try with the speed paint. I was so desperately trying to save it, and I was like, maybe once I get it, the shading will get better. The shading too, I didn't like the shading. It just didn't turn out good. I was really desperately trying to save it, and it just did not work at all. And we live and we learn, but it's just awful. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. I will try to be more active here and on my Instagram. I'd say look at my Instagram if you want somebody who's more active than here on YouTube, but I haven't been really keeping that up, so look on my Instagram either way. I'll try to post more on both of them. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. School is really screw you, and then threw a bunch of textbooks at me and took away all my free time too, thinking about it. But you know, we live and we learn, we exceed, we grow. And yeah, that is basically, I hope you enjoyed the very little amount I talked about Julius today. This video was meant to be about him, but it was just me. Okay, I'm sorry Julius. I'll get to you next time. I don't know what that next time will be. I barely draw him. I say I love all my OCs, and I really do, but I never draw them. Like, Lilac is the only person I draw, and I don't even know why. She's just so easy to draw, and the rest of them, you'll never see them. There are gonna be some OCs, I guarantee you, that you might just never see. Like, yeah, there are some OCs who I really like the design for, but I just never ever draw them, ever at all. And I'm getting off topic. I was supposed to end this before this. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed me rambling for 14 or 15 minutes. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. And yeah, that is basically it. It's more often or not. I'll try. Anyways, guys, I'll see y'all later. Ciao.